The Arctic Ocean is small in name. It is the smallest of the great seas, yet it feels very old. It holds water that has moved here for a long time. It holds stories that seem older than the people who tell them. At the top of the world, the light is thin and soft. The air grows still. Snow falls slowly, like dust settling on a forgotten room. This is a place of long silences and deep patience. The world grows quiet here. Step close and listen. The ice remembers. The sun can hide for months at a time. The sky keeps its stars, its shimmering auroras close. The ice is more than frozen water. It is a living skin on the surface of the sea. It breathes with the seasons. It expands in the long dark of winter. It retreats in the brief, bright summer. It is not a solid, static thing. It is a mosaic of floating pieces, always in motion. Great flows drift like continents of their own. They grind against each other with a low, groaning sound. It travels for miles under the water. This roof of ice is not always flat or white. It is a landscape of its own. They catch low light and cast long blue shadows across the snow. Meltwater pools form in the summer, lakes of impossible turquoise, pools like eyes opening to the sky, temporary windows into the deeper blue just beneath. The ice is not only a barrier, it is a form of memory. It holds the past like a slow, cold book. Every layer of snow that falls and compacts into ice captures a moment in time. It holds dust from volcanic eruptions. It holds pollen from forests that have long since vanished. Scientists drill deep into this ice, pulling up cores like long frozen scrolls. Researchers read these scrolls to understand the Earth's climate from thousands of years ago. The ice remembers what we have forgotten. Sounds are also held in the ice. When the temperature drops suddenly, the ice contracts and sings. It makes high, ringing notes that echo across the frozen sea. These are sometimes called the singing of the ice. When a new crack forms, it can create a sharp report like a rifle shot, or a deep, resonant hum that vibrates through your body. The ice speaks in a language of tension and release. It is the voice of immense forces moving slowly. Every action leaves a trace in this place. It is simply held in the long, cold memory of the ice. People have learned to live here, at the edge of the world. They are the Inuit and other Arctic peoples. They did not conquer this land. They learned to become part of it. They made homes from the small things that last, like stone, sod, bone. They learned to read the sky as a map. They know where the stars sit at night and how their positions change with the seasons. They know how to navigate by the direction of the wind and the texture of the snow. Their lives are shaped by careful observation. They know the habits of the seal, the path of the caribou, where the whales will surface to breathe. They read the ice like a book, understanding its cracks, its groans, its colors. Their lives are quiet and deliberate. They do not rush. Their cultures are rich with stories and songs. These are not just for entertainment. They are guides for living. They are maps of the soul. They have names for animals that move like living myths. Their language is born of this place, full of words for different kinds of snow and ice. These communities are built on cooperation. To survive here, one must rely on others. They understand that life is a circle. In the vast, quiet expanse of the Arctic, where the wind and ice speak a language of their own, the Inuit and other northern peoples hold songs and stories that carry deep, resonant truths. These are not mere tales for entertainment. They are maps for survival, codes of conduct, and ways of understanding a world of profound power and mystery. They are the memory of the land, passed down through generations, whispered in the warmth of a home against the biting cold outside. Among the most powerful of these is the story of Sedna. Known by many names across the circumpolar north, she is the mother of the sea animals, the guardian of the ocean depths. Her story is a foundational text for the relationship between humanity and the sea. The narratives vary, but many tell of a beautiful young woman who, betrayed by a promise of a warm and plentiful home, finds herself married to a spirit bird. When her father comes to rescue her, a great storm is conjured by her enraged husband. In his terror, the father throws his own daughter into the churning, icy waves to save himself. As she clings to the side of his kayak, he cuts off her fingers, joint by joint. And as they fall into the water, a profound transformation occurs. Her severed fingers become the first seals, walruses, and whales. She sinks to the bottom of the ocean, no longer a human woman, but a powerful new being. She becomes Sedna, a divine figure, a woman who lives at the bottom of the sea. From her home in the cold, dark water, she is the source of all life that comes from the ocean. This story, born of tragedy and transformation, establishes the most sacred of contracts. The animals of the sea are not just creatures. They are parts of Sedna's own body, her children born from her sacrifice. This is why she is not a figure to be taken lightly. People do not tell her stories as a joke. They speak her name with care and with reverence, for she is the keeper of the balance. When hunters prepare to go to the sea, they do so with this understanding etched into their actions. They know that the animals they seek are a gift from Sedna, not a right. They are her children, and she will not release them to just anyone. The hunt is a negotiation, a dialogue with the divine. They must show that they are worthy. This worthiness is demonstrated through acts of respect and reciprocity, an offering of fresh water, a precious commodity in the saltwater world, a promise that no part of the animal will be wasted, a quiet song of gratitude. The stories of Sedna are not meant to inspire fear of a vengeful goddess. They are meant to inspire a profound and active respect for the entire marine ecosystem. Through this mythology, the ocean is understood not as a resource to be exploited, but as a living, conscious entity with its own spirit and its own needs. Sedna is the embodiment of that spirit. She is a reminder that human actions have consequences that ripple through the unseen world. If people are greedy, disrespectful, or wasteful, if they break taboos or forget their gratitude, the stories say Sedna will become angry. The transgressions of the community tangle in her long, dark hair, causing her pain. In her sorrow and anger, she will keep the animals enmeshed in her hair, and the hunters will return with empty boats. Famine is not just a lack of food. It is a breakdown in the relationship with the mother of the sea. In times of hardship, it was the role of the Angakuk, the shaman, to undertake a spiritual journey to Sedna's home in the abyss. There, they would soothe her and carefully, respectfully, comb the tangles from her hair, releasing the seals and whales back into the world. She is a voice for what lives, unseen. She is a way to honor the vast, hidden world beneath the ice, a world that gives life, but also demands respect. To speak of Sedna softly is to acknowledge a fundamental truth, that we are guests in this powerful place, dependent on its generosity. It is a worldview that fosters humility and careful stewardship, a stark contrast to a mindset of dominion. She is not a monster or a demon to be feared. She is a guardian, a mother. The very spirit of the deep ocean, whose story teaches that our survival is inextricably linked to the respect and care we show for her and for her children. In the vast, silent theater of the Arctic, the animals feel as if they have walked out of old tales, their forms shaped by myth and time. They are living stories, breathing embodiments of a world that exists at the edge of our imagination. Here, the narwhal swims through the cold water like a unicorn of the sea, a creature of pure wonder. Its very existence seems to challenge the boundary between the real and the fantastical. It carries a long, spiraled tusk that is actually a single, elongated canine tooth, which erupts from its upper jaw and grows right through its lip. This tusk can grow up to 10 feet long, a spear of ivory pointing out from the darkness of the deep. For centuries, its purpose was a profound enigma, fueling legends of sea monsters and magical beasts. Today, we understand this tusk is a remarkable sensory organ. It is porous, with millions of nerve endings that connect the ocean environment directly to the whale's brain. It can read changes in water temperature, pressure, and even the salinity of the water, helping it to navigate the shifting labyrinth of sea ice and find food in the crushing dark. It is a tool for communication, a way to feel the world. The narwhal moves with a silent, fluid grace. It is a creature of deep mystery, its purpose and life still not fully understood. It is a living legend, a whisper from the heart of the ice. And then there is the beluga, soft and white, the color of sea ice and freshly fallen snow. It is a profoundly social and vocal whale, a being of light and sound. Its complex range of clicks, whistles, and chirps is so varied and constant that people have called it the canary of the cold waters. Its voice seems to hold both laughter and sorrow, a constant conversation echoing through the underwater canyons. Belugas travel in close-knit families, their pale bodies moving like ghosts beneath the surface, their bonds palpable in their synchronized dance. They are the singers of the Arctic Sea, their songs a vibrant thread in the fabric of this frozen world. They have expressive faces and seem to look at you with a gentle, knowing intelligence. To meet the gaze of a beluga is to feel a connection to an ancient and playful spirit. But the Arctic holds beings of a different nature, in the darkest, coldest depths, where sunlight is a forgotten memory. The Greenland shark drifts like a slow shadow. It is a creature that holds an immense amount of time within its very cells. Some have been found to live for more than 400 years, making them the longest living vertebrates on Earth. They were born before the age of steam, swimming in these same black waters as empires rose and fell on the surface world above. They move with an almost imperceptible slowness, a deliberate, patient rhythm that conserves every spark of energy in the frigid, crushing pressure of the abyss. Their existence is a masterclass in endurance. Their eyes are often colonized by a parasite that renders them nearly blind, but in the total darkness of their world, sight is a secondary sense. They navigate by smell and by sensing the faint electrical fields of their prey, hunting like phantoms in the deep. They are living relics, carrying centuries of the ocean's unwritten history in their bodies. The bowhead whale is another ancient being, a titan of this realm. Some have lived for more than 2 centuries, carrying the memories of a different world in their immense forms. They possess the largest mouth of any animal on Earth, a cavernous opening lined with baleen plates, designed to filter the smallest of creatures from the water. Their most incredible adaptation is a massive reinforced skull, powerful enough to break through more than a foot of solid sea ice to create breathing holes. They are the architects of their own survival, and they sing. Their songs are low, deep, and complex, traveling for vast distances under the ice cap. To hear a bowhead sing is to hear the voice of old time itself, a resonant, haunting melody from the heart of the Arctic. The deep trenches of the Arctic Ocean hide places that few have ever seen. Here, the water is immensely heavy. The pressure grows with every foot of descent, holding the water still and cold. The cold from the surface sinks into these abyssal plains, creating a stable, frigid environment that has changed very little over thousands of years. This is a world of profound darkness and immense pressure. It is a place where life must be incredibly resilient to survive. Some rivers do not flow to the sea, they flow under the ice. These subglacial rivers are hidden veins of moving water. They carve channels into the bedrock beneath the great ice sheets. They carry sediment and stones, grinding them into fine powder. These rivers have a voice of their own, a muffled, rushing sound that is lost to the world above. They leave their marks on the seabed, creating canyons and deltas in a world without light. They are the secret plumbing of the planet's frozen crown. The sheer weight of the water shapes everything. Creatures that live in the deep have soft, gelatinous bodies that can withstand the crushing pressure. They move slowly, their metabolisms tuned to a world of scarcity. Ghostly jellyfish drift like phantom flowers. Strange fish with bioluminescent lures create their own pinpricks of light in the unending blackness. These are not monsters. They are marvels of adaptation, life in one of the most extreme environments on Earth. The ocean is not silent. It is filled with a symphony of strange sounds. Scientists place hydrophones, sensitive underwater microphones, into the deep. They listen. The sounds they record are mysterious and beautiful, full of slow notes, deep hums, and percussive cracks. These are the voices of the Arctic abyss, a chorus that has been singing for eons, unheard by human ears until now. The water holds these echoes for a long time. There is a sound they call Julia. It is not a whale song. It is not the groan of ice. It is a strange, mournful voice from the deep that lasts for about 15 seconds. Its source remains a mystery. It is one of many unidentified sounds that haunt the polar seas. These sounds remind us how little we know. They are whispers from a world we are only just beginning to listen to. They are questions that the ocean is asking. Under the ice, sound behaves in odd ways. It can become trapped and reflected, traveling for enormous distances. A crack in the ice 100 miles away can sound like a bell ringing. The massive calving of a glacier creates a thunderous roar. The sound is loud and pure. The animals add their own voices. All of these noises blend together, creating a constant, living soundscape. The sound of life itself, happening in the dark. A slow, deep percussion, like a drum that beats at a low note. At night, the sky comes alive. The Aurora Borealis dances above the frozen world. It is a light that moves like a spirit. It is not fixed like the stars. It shimmers and flows in curtains of green, pink, soft violet. It can be a faint, gentle glow, or a vibrant, swirling river of light that fills the entire sky. It is a silent spectacle. This light seems to be a link between the sky and the sea. Some of the old stories say that the lights are the spirits of the ancestors playing a game in the heavens. Others say they are the flickering torches of those who are guiding lost souls. These are stories that help people feel that the place is alive, that the sky itself is breathing. The aurora is born from a connection between the sun and the earth. Particles from the sun, guided toward the poles. When they strike the gases in our atmosphere, they create light. It is a physical process, but it feels like magic. It is a reminder that we are connected to the cosmos. Watching the aurora is a humbling experience. It makes you feel very small. You stand under the vast, dark dome of the sky and watch as it breathes color. The silence of the Arctic landscape makes the display even more profound. There is no sound, only the slow, graceful movement of light. It is a dance between the sun and the earth, and the Arctic is the stage where this celestial performance takes place, night after silent night. The sea asks for small acts from people. It does not demand grand gestures or loud proclamations of arrival. In a world that often values speed and scale, the Arctic Ocean teaches a different currency. Here, the most valuable offering is not strength, but stillness. It is not a territory to be conquered, but a presence to be met. It asks for a quietening of the self, a shedding of the noise we carry with us from other, louder places. It asks us to become small again, to remember our place in a world far older and vaster than our own ambitions. Those who come to the ice, and those who have always been here, learn to move like guests in a sacred space. They walk softly, not to avoid cracking the ice, but as a form of conversation with it. They bring only small lights, just enough to find a path, careful not to overwhelm the profound, star-dusted darkness. They do not shout, for the silence here is not empty. It is full of the subtle language of wind and water. They do not rush, because to rush is to miss the slow, deliberate pulse of life that defines this world. This is a lesson learned over millennia, passed down by the Inuit, who understand that survival here is about listening, not commanding. The ocean answers this quiet respect with its own deep silence. It is a silence that holds everything: the memory of ancient glaciers, the slow drift of continents, the patient turning of the planet on its axis. It is a silence that absorbs sound, that seems to pull the world into a state of deep contemplation. There is a feeling here, often described by explorers and scientists, but known intimately by the people of the North, of being watched by the deep. It is not a menacing feeling, not the gaze of a predator. It is a feeling of a vast, ancient presence, of a heavy listening. It is the awareness that you are a fleeting detail in a landscape that measures time in epochs. The ocean doesn't judge. It simply observes. It registers your warmth, your breath, your brief passage across its frozen skin, and holds it as one more transient memory within its immense, cold heart. The world here holds a gentle power. It is not loud or aggressive, like a storm-tossed southern sea. Its strength is in its endurance, its sheer mass, its unhurried rhythm. It is slow, it is steady, it is immense. The power is in the iceberg that took 10,000 years to form, now drifting silently toward its final dissolution. It is in the pressure of the deep, a weight that could crush steel, yet cradles the most delicate, slow-living creatures. The horizon is often a single, clean line, a stark boundary between the white of the world and the pale blue of the sky. Against this elemental backdrop, life is reduced to its essential form. A single fox becomes a dark mark moving across a vast canvas of snow, a brief, purposeful stroke of life in a minimalist masterpiece. Time itself seems to stretch and slow down, conforming to the ocean's patient tempo. A single whale song, a complex and resonant story told in sound, can last for many minutes, its notes traveling for hundreds of miles under the ice. A single season of darkness, the long polar night, can feel like one long, contemplative breath, a time for stories to be told, and for the world to rest under a blanket of stars and Aurora. The ocean keeps things safe by moving slowly. Its currents, like the Great Beaufort Gaia, turn in vast, lazy circles that can take decades to complete a single rotation. The ocean is a watcher. It holds a long watch at the top of the world, a planetary memory keeper. It sees the seasons turn, not just the four we know, but the deeper seasons of ice and open water. It feels the ice grow and shrink, a slow planetary respiration. It holds the memories of millennia in its cold, slow currents, memories of volcanic ash from eruptions on the other side of the world, of dust from forgotten deserts, of the very air breathed by creatures long extinct, all captured in the layered archive of its ice. It is not waiting for anything in particular. Its waiting is not an act of anticipation, filled with hope or dread for a future event. It is a state of being. The ocean's watch is one of pure presence. It was here before us, and it will be here long after our brief, hurried moment has passed. It simply is. There are mysteries here that the ocean keeps, secrets it has no intention of telling. Ancient microbes, dormant for hundreds of thousands of years, sleep in the permafrost, their genetic stories locked away in frozen silence. The magnetic pole wanders across this landscape, a ghost in the machine of the planet, its slow, unpredictable dance guided by forces in the Earth's core that we can only begin to model. The sea guards its secrets well. It will not give them up easily. They are not puzzles to be solved, but truths to be respected. To know this place is not to conquer it, but to listen to it. It asks for quiet attention and a humble heart. It asks you to put your ear to the ice and feel the deep resonance of the world. It asks you to listen to the breathing sound of a whale under the ice, a low-life pulse that travels far into the blue dark, a heartbeat of the ocean itself. In the Arctic, life moves slowly, time stretches, and the ocean simply waits. It watches, and it invites us, for a short while, to do the same, to just be present, to listen, and to tread lightly on the roof of the world.